Hello, hello. Welcome to the Big Bad Marketing Podcast. I'm Janae.
And I'm Brooke, and we are two entrepreneurs jumping headfirst into building a business.
We're marketers and content creators at heart. And in this podcast, we help small business owners learn how to play big with their marketing efforts, even on a small business budget.
So if you're ready to make big bad moves in your professional life, this podcast is for you.
Hey,
Hey, episode 4.
yes. And in some ways, episode 0, is that what we talked about?
Yes.
This is like the big bad beginning.
Oh, love it. Yeah, we're sort of diving headfirst into podcast land and then coming to the realization that you don't know us and you need to.
Yes,
So,
which I think some of that, like, it will just happen naturally as you listen and hear our rapport and our chitty chatties.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think it's important that we take a moment to just be like, this is a little bit about who we are.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to start with a little bit of background on Janae and your professional experiences?
Yes, absolutely. So, when I was thinking this through, I was like, where to start? Like, life is just such like a wild journey, but I think it's so relevant to start with that. I had graduated college and was teaching yoga full time. And that's important because I know a lot of where we dovetail is through fitness and coaching and things like that. And that our worlds kind of come together in a place around that. And so I was teaching yoga and I was writing creative writing pieces about yoga poses and when is the best time to do yoga. But like I was doing it for fun. Like I just liked writing. And someone reached out to me and said, "Hey, I see that you've been posting these blogs online. Are you interested in writing some professional pieces for one of my clients?" And I was like, sure. What are we talking about? And it was a nursing company. And I knew nothing about that, which I said. And they're like, no, don't worry. Just you'll Google it. You'll find the answers. You'll write this piece. It's just really to help generate some traffic. And that was my start into digital marketing, where slowly I was writing these pieces and we expanded from that client to 2 clients and then 5 clients. And before I knew it, I was writing a ton of blogs for a ton of different websites. And it was no longer this like passion, creative, fun space, but it was actually like a strategic place, which is another um, piece of me that's really important and that a muscle that I want to exercise often. So it became this like, how do you reach people in different local areas and how do you target the right audience and how do you make sure the Google algorithm is picking up on this? And so I was doing that for a while and then started working for some different agencies as a freelancer where I did some brand design and brand strategy for different clients of all kinds across industries. And then continued with the writing. I also started doing a lot of social media content. So writing content, designing posts, designing the imagery, giving image guidance or video guidance, and then developing the whole strategy associated with the social. And then all of that brought me into a big bad full time role, which is where you and I met. You hired me in as a content strategist. And there we were working with a lot of banking and financial companies and insurance. So lots of sort of the BFSI core industries and doing the brand strategies or the content strategies for their websites, blogs, editing, stuff like that. And since then, I think it's just been time to like branch out and do some of our own work.
Yeah, love it. So lots of great experience in all aspects of the digital marketing realm. So very cool. So I came to writing and digital marketing by way of software. So I got my start working for a healthcare software company that helped employees enroll in benefits. And I did everything from work in the call center to eventually managing a team of account managers that worked on large employer accounts and really got to understand the healthcare industry, which is whew, it's a heck of a lot if anybody's ever been in that realm. And from there, I went on to uh, other healthcare software companies and eventually trended into financial services software, where I was doing primarily quality assurance and release management work. So I have been on the back end and the very back end of a lot of websites and done a lot of user experience and quality assurance work. So I am always hyper fixated on what is the end user going to see? Do they have the information they need? Is it clear? Is there a clear call to action? Are they going to know what to do when they hit this particular page? So always, always consumer focused. And when I left that financial services software company around age 30, decided to sort of make a career pivot and began freelance writing, which had kind of always been in my bones. And I've sort of always been that person that someone would come to and say, hey, can you explain this feature to me in a way that I can then take that to my client? So I was, sort of that
Mm.
intermediary that was taking the complex concepts and explaining them simply for people. So that was sort of always my approach to writing, which I think is in some ways how I landed in the financial services sphere for writing because a lot of personal finance can be overcomplicated. And one of the best things we can do for people is to simplify it and help them understand it. And so spent a couple years building a freelance writing business and then eventually one of my clients hired me on full time. So I was a content strategist, just like you, serving the large financial services companies and helping them develop their SEO content and thinking about how people were interacting with content on their websites, and then eventually took a managerial role at that company. So we came together there in the past 6-ish months. Both of us have decided to leave agency life to pursue this small business marketing
Entrepreneurial ventures.
entrepreneurial venture. I love it. And I think really at the heart of it for me is this desire to serve small businesses. And part of the frustration in that prior agency was how long it took some things to happen and how you sort of felt at times like you're kind of banging your head against the wall, so to speak, for months on end. And it just feels like nothing is ever going to happen. And then 18 months go by and you're like, oh, hey, there's that piece I wrote last July. That's great to see that that's finally getting through. And just kind of feeling lost in the shuffle of that big enterprise world and my passion really lies with serving my community, the people that I know, being closer to home, helping small businesses find their ideal customer and connect with them in ways that are gonna lead to an eventual long-term customer relationship.
Yes, and success and growth and continuing
Absolutely.
staying in business where sometimes working with those corporation size, enterprise size clients, we're just sort of drops in this ocean. And there's so many other people and other teams working on their marketing. And this is just marketing, like not even the actual service they offer, just the marketing side that it's like we're just one more person working on this huge project. And I think we come together there as well in like wanting to feel the difference that we're making for a business and that our contribution actually does make a difference for them, for their bottom line, for the long term success of any given company. So, working with small local businesses feels like a place where we can make a tangible impact and we will see the results and everyone's going to be happy and we can move things forward in a consistent progression, not 2 years later, we look at this old blog post that we wrote that now is no longer relevant because the keywords have changed and trends are different. But where we can make an impact and we can make it now and we can really help you and feel like something has changed for the better.
Absolutely. And a lot of our desire with this business is to really come alongside small business owners and partner with them. And I think in that prior life, we were very much in this sort of order taker capacity where, someone in a faraway office is kind of deciding what's going to happen. And then it's all eventually filtering down and it's like, okay, write this piece. And then when we would say, but does that make the most sense? At that point, it was sort of like, you know what, this has already been decided. Just take your marching orders and walk. And I think so much of what we enjoy about working with small businesses is we can really think through that marketing strategy from the ground up and say, okay, you're a small business that is selling XYZ thing, and this is the market that you are trying to get into. These are your ideal prospects. Let's take a look at not only your website, but let's take a look at your social presence and your email list and your campaigns that you have set up. And let's take a look at how you show up in all these different channels and develop a marketing strategy that's really going to be cohesive and helping people to find and understand your brand.
100%. Because even as you're describing that, I'm like, a lot of this is also thinking through a business from an even higher level. Forget the marketing. Like, what is the sales process? What is your sales journey? What is the buyer's journey here? So, all of these different points that you're referring to are just parts of this larger cycle. Not that all businesses are about sales, but ultimately, like, we want to generate revenue through having customers. And so, if you haven't thought through that whole process, like, that's I think part of where we want to come in, not only with a marketing strategy, but as consultants to say, hey, here's how this process can be smooth and streamlined. And here's how you can build up your marketing in a way that will create sustainable growth for you for the long term.
Absolutely. And thinking through that full customer journey from the first time someone interacts with you at your physical brick and mortar until when they receive the invoice and what you're asking them to do next. And then are you nurturing them? Are you making them a customer for life? And do you have the right things in place to ensure that longevity of the relationship?
Oh, yes. And if you are new to marketing or you're new to business, the a huge secret in the sauce of sales is that it is so much less expensive to keep your current customers, excuse me, than it is to find new ones. So it's like once you already have a happy customer, everything that you do should help promote that customer to come back and, like you're saying, nurture them. And it's like having some partners on your team, some big bad partners to work with to help guide you through that process. I think that's what we're all about.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, sort of the marketing strategy more broadly is kind of our bread and butter. That's where we live. We think every business needs a marketing strategy where you are thinking through the end-to-end experience. Within that broader strategy, you might have certain pieces that you are using. And when you're a small business, you're probably not going to be able to do everything at once, and that's okay. So it's really what we do is develop the strategy and then help you prioritize against that and say, okay, well, you know what? For the next 6 months, getting the website in order is the most important priority for your business. And here's the steps that we're going to take to do that. Here's how much it's going to cost. And here's how we can move that forward. Then, once your website is in a good place, let's think about adding on some of these other elements like a social media strategy and posting on a weekly cadence and engaging with your community. But don't get caught in the overwhelm because there is a plan and a method to the madness, and we can help all small business owners do that, even on whatever budget you have in mind. We'll help you find something that works for that budget.
Sure. I think the idea here is like a framework. We will help you create a framework to put in place, and that can be at whatever speed is realistic and sustainable. And I think we're open to helping you build and work through the details of those things, or just give you the high level so you can put it into practice. But the point is, like, we just want to help. We want you to not be treading water, and like feel like you're able to swim and you're not overwhelmed, and make the process of marketing digestible. Because I know a lot of times what you and I, Brooke, are talking about is how business owners, let's say an accountant, didn't go into business so that they could market their accounting firm. They went into to do their professional skill, which is the accounting. And we're like, we want to give you back your time that you're spending on like operating your business and doing the marketing so that you can focus on accounting, which is your strength, and then hand off and get off of your plate some of this other stuff that will keep you in business and help you succeed without having to overwhelm you and be a weight and just take up room on your limited amount of time and your plate.
Absolutely, because small business owners have so much to do. I mean, it's not only the working in the business, it's the bookkeeping behind the scenes, and marketing is one small thing that we can take off your plate, which what I find with a lot of business owners is it comes down to a time thing and then it comes down to a skill set. So, could you design your own website? Sure, there are tools out there that are going to help you do that. But is it going to be the quality you want? Is it going to take you 5 times longer? Is it going to frustrate the heck out of you? And, like that's really where we come in is to say, you know what? This is what we do. Let us do it for you, and then you don't have to worry.
Sure. Because, you said like marketing is this small thing we can take off your plate. And I totally agree with that because there's a majillion things on the plate. Like we're not specialists at all of them. But what I think about marketing is it's a small thing that can lead to tremendous growth and tremendous input to your company. So bringing in new customers, generating revenue, helping you open to new audiences and new channels. And it's like this small thing that if you're not doing it, you're missing out on so many opportunities. And that's where we're like dorking out over here, like, how can we find your new audience and what pools have you not tapped yet? And we get excited about that. And you're like, oh my God, I just want to focus on my accounting and I can't because I still have to build the social media posts. And it's like,
Absolutely.
as a small business owner, is that the best use of your time and your value? And very often, as far as marketing is concerned, it's like, no, that would be a much more lucrative place to invest in professionals to offer that support so you can focus on what you do best.
Yep, absolutely. Could not have said it better. So, just to kind of cover off some of the services within that broader strategy. So, we are content and copy people. We love writing. We love the words. So, we do the email marketing. We'll help you manage your campaigns. We'll help you develop your monthly newsletters. We'll write your blog posts. We also have a super talented team of web designers that helps us out on more of that creative side. And then branding as well. So, really defining what is your brand? Do you have a logo that emphasizes that? Do you have the right voice for your brand? And why should people care? Like, let's figure out who you are, what you do, and why people should care and create this really cohesive story for you. And then obviously SEO, Google, all those types of more, somewhat technical things as well.
Sure. It's reminding me that marketing is like such an ecosystem with all of these different pieces and moving parts. And some are applicable to some businesses and some websites, and others just aren't. And it's always a puzzle depending on who your audience is and what your product or service is and how you sell that thing. And I think the place where we get excited is like helping you figure that out. And so whether or not you have any of these things in place, like we're happy to help. And if you're just like, yes, I already have an amazing website, I hired this great designer, I just need someone to continue producing blogs for me, like we got you. Or if you're like, I don't even know what you guys are talking about, I just know the word marketing and then I need to be doing it, and can you help me with that? Like we're here for all of it, anywhere you're at in this stage of building up your business and your marketing.
Absolutely. And when you go to our website, you can schedule a free 30-minute consultation call where we will walk through this with you. We will hold your hand if you need that. We will not hold your hand if you don't need that, but we will really get to know you and your business. And we're only going to recommend what you need. And I think there are some times where a digital marketing agency can come along and convince you that you need everything, whereas we really tailor the approach to every business. And we recognize that every business is built differently and it requires a different set of tactics and it needs to be executed in a different way. And we get that. And we're never going to try to sell you the whole kit and caboodle because that doesn't always make sense.
No, it reminds me when you were saying before, we would deal with higher ups at client customer companies who would send us a list of like, we want 10 blogs about this that were decided by people who never interact with the website, don't know anything about the keyword research. And then we are hands on, boots on the ground doing the work. And we're like, this doesn't make sense. But we were so stuck in that chain of command system and that hierarchy that it was sort of lost in the system. Like, well, we're saying it doesn't make sense because we're the ones who are actually looking at it, but higher ups wanted it. And I think that is a place where you and I are just like, no, we didn't like that experience and we would never do that to other people. Like, no, you need this, you need that. Like, no, we're just, let's make this as simple as possible for everybody because it doesn't benefit us either to do a bunch of work that doesn't make sense or bring you business.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, we want to make your business successful. We want to connect you with your ideal prospect. We want to convert them into customers and we want to keep them for life.
End
That's
of
what we're
story.
about. Yeah.
Yes. And we are doing this simultaneously for our business and our businesses. So we just talked through how to make a marketing calendar for the year. So that doesn't have to be this huge, overwhelming process. And if you're like, oh, I need that too, go ahead and check out podcast episode 2, where we talk about annual marketing calendars and how to make them and what parts of that you will need. And also set yourself up with a calendar time slot on our website. And like we will talk you through that process. We're just like excited to help, I think.
Yes, absolutely. And worth mentioning, we are based in the Charleston, South Carolina, and Miami, Florida areas for in-person consultations. Obviously, we are down to support small business owners wherever you might live, and same thing applies. We want to get to know you. We want to partner with you and make your business a success. So reach out. We're here.
Yeah. Well, this reminds me, we're saying like, who are we? But I think it would behoove us to tell people like, who are our ideal clients as well? Like, who do we want to work with? Do you have some thoughts on that?
Yes and no. I definitely have thoughts. I am very interested in the industries where I already have experience, right? So I am deeply ingrained in the personal finance, financial services realm. I love helping financial professionals, planners, advisors, anyone in that space. Have a huge passion for home service businesses. My brother owns an HVAC company, so that's, near and dear to my heart. Roofing, plumbing, all of the things, pest control, and on, which maybe sounds kind of nerdy to say, but love that. And we also love to support women-owned businesses. Obviously, we got a soft spot for fellow uh, boss babes that are doing the thing. So,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Man, you just nailed it with like a bunch of actual industries. And I'm like, also, I love pizza. I love donuts. Like, I just heard this like amazing drum line locally. And I'm like, these are the places I want to work with are people who are passionate about what they do. Like, more than a specific industry, I'm like, other people who want to show up and create a real, tangible, beautiful thing in this world. Like, I want to work with you. And I was thinking how I think our main criteria is like, we just want to work with good people. So please do not call us if you are not nice and you're mean and you're going to make our lives hard. Like, that's not going to be a fun partnership for anyone.
yeah. And I think at heart, we're really just fun-loving people. We like to have a good time. We are professional when we need to be, but we also just generally enjoy getting to know people. We love people. We love learning other people's stories and what they do and then helping them convey that. So we are just looking for some like-minded individuals, the entrepreneur who's the real go-getter, and just someone that really wants to create that partnership with us.
Yeah, well said. Well said. I think we covered it.
Okay, that's a wrap. Episode 4. Thanks for listening.
Nice. We are not financial or medical experts, and we do not pretend to play them on TV.
Everything we say in this podcast is for educational purposes to help you build a bigger, better business.
Please do not sue us.